Okay, welcome to game 2 of my ladder up match against Alibby. I won the first one. It was a pretty fun kingdom there. We'll see what we have here. Enhanced Triumphal Arch horses. So I'm 1-0. I need to win 2.5 out of the next 5 games to win the match. And Alibby needs to win 2.5 out of 5 games to win the next match. Needs to win 3 out of the next 5 games to win the match. They opened with the supplies. I wonder if that's a 5-2, which I think stables is pretty nice with supplies, even though the supplies appear to be... no, those are horses, so there's good synergy there. With 4, I think I just click on remake, though. And, okay, they opened remake supplies. I'm trying to decide if I want the supplies or if I want the goat herd here. Haven't really examined the kingdom too much. There is not plus buy, but Triumphal Arch kind of rewards you for building up a bunch of stables, ports, I guess. Giant's a little bit of an attack, but I think with stables, supplies, you can get thin really fast, build a deck that consistently provinces, and there's not much your opponent can do, and the Noble Brigand doesn't attack the supplies. Remake can potentially get you a little bit of late VP, but not a ton. I'm going to follow suit on the supplies. And so this is fine. I'll just pick up... I can get a goat herd potentially, but I think I just want a silver and a supplies here. Goat herd is decent against remake, because if your opponent plays remake, they... if your opponent plays remake, they... are trashing 2 cards, so the goat herd will draw you a bunch. And just keep clicking on supplies. One interesting facet about this Triumphal Arch stuff is if I get like 4 stables and 4 supplies on the last turn of my game, I gain 4 horses on my last turn. So like the horses will disappear during my turn and then reappear at the end of my turn, which is a little bit wonky for counting purposes, but you know, essentially, the last turn of the game, I get as many points as I have supplies. So, do I want silvers here? Do I really want 1 goat herd? I think I'm drawing fine without the goat herd. And the stables are going to give me plenty of draw, and the silvers are going to help that and build up my payload. Obviously, them playing their goat herd, they draw a bunch of cards on if I had played remake the previous turn. And I'm going to be drawing most of my deck pretty soon. So I'm pretty close to that already. And I will get another stables here. I have 3 supplies, I think 2 silvers. I have to consider stopping for another supplies at some point, or maybe enhancing, if I hit enhancing copper into supplies or something like that. Or I can remake silvers into... Not quite sure what I'm thinking here. Okay, I had 3 silvers in my deck, which is good to know. So I consider like remaking something into something. Not sure what that is. I think the way my deck is functioning, I'm drawing it clear enough that I can just start buying provinces here. Yeah. I'm drawing enough cards every turn, and if I need to, I can add another stables. I have 3 stables and 3 supplies, which is worth 9 victory points. We'll see what Alibby does here. They've followed suit. I'm going to save the horses if I can, in general. And this is some stuff I can do, right? So I can remake a copper into nothing and remake a horse into a port, say. And so my deck got a little bit thinner this turn. I added 1 horse, one port, I removed 1 copper, I'm adding 1 province. And if I can do the same thing again, or I can remake the port into a scepter or another stables. I can never actually remake something into supplies, but I could conceivably just gain a whole bunch of ports and have those be worth points, or I can remake the port into a stables and give me some more reliability and draw. They only have 2 stables, so in that sense, I've got a little bit of a tiebreaker advantage on them. But if one of us reaches a turn where we don't play all of our supplies, we have the problem where our victory point also drops. I think we're pretty equally trashed. There's 3 coppers left. They've killed their goat herd into a port themselves. It's weird to see the port pile on an odd number. Don't really want to discard silvers, but I guess I'm going to draw through every turn anyways. I cannot buy a province if I don't play this horse. What is the top card here? Another silver. That seems fine. Just save onto the horse, and now I've got an extra horse, so that's more reliability for next turn. And again, I'm still up to 3 VP from the 1 extra stables. I've actually got an extra horse now too, if that needs to, if I can keep that extra horse the entire rest of the game, which could just be 2 more turns, then I can win here. Not quite sure how I got ahead. Even if I'm that far ahead, we both played remake. Their first shuffle, they weren't able to trash an estate with the remake. And they bought a silver here. I think they should have bought a supplies there on turn 4. I don't think you ever want to buy silver here with the interactions. And they appear to not have drawn through enough to hit province. So that puts me in pretty good shape. Not quite sure why I'm the play order that I'm playing here. I'm just kind of clicking the cards, which is not the best thing to do. But so I again have this issue where the top card of my deck is this is the exact same hand I had last shuffle, except I have 1 extra province. And again, I'm just gonna click buy province. Starting every hand with 3 horses. I've got 1 horse and 3 stables in the deck. So there's 4 cards I want to be finding. One of those is a port, so that's a card. So 4 out of 14, and I've got 6 cards to look through. So I'm pretty likely to find it all. And if I have a half sort of dudish turn, I can just buy another stables. Yeah, so that's something they can do with they gain another duchy. They gained a duchy and a stables. So the 4 costs can become duchies as we move through the game. And that was the very last card that I found. I do have 1 more horse that I will play. Okay, so the bottom card of my deck is again a silver. It's always a silver. I can play the port, do some remake stuff, buy a province. They have more 4 costs than I do, but I actually will have playing my horses. 3 horses will give me 9 points. So it looks like I'm only up 3, but I'm actually up by 12. Yeah. I miscounted that because I had a port. It looked like, okay, so I was only up 9. So I'm up 15 now. Which means I need to gain 4 duchies. They need to gain a province and 3 duchies to tie. And they were first player, actually, so they need to gain more than that. They need to gain a province and like 4 duchies or 3 duchies in a state. And they, I believe, only have 3 total gains in their deck, so they can remake for 2 things and then buy 1 thing. So province plus double duchy is 12 points. The remake stuff they're doing is nice. They're able to get points really that I'm not able to have access to. If I added 1 more stables to my deck before provincing, I could have done the same thing where every turn I remake horses into useful things. That is 7. That is 6. Oof. Okay, I had not anticipated dudding there, but it is what it is. So I guess I just gain a duchy and hope that they can't double duchy province. It seems pretty tough for them to be able to draw enough and have the 4 costs to do that, but they have a whole bunch of ports. Well, they have 2 ports. So they've got to find both ports in the hand with the remake and 8 money worth of treasures when they've already got 3 duchies and 2 provinces in there. So there's a bunch of green cards in there. They're drawn through, though. Their VP will fluctuate as they play horses or find supplies. They discarded as supplies. And I don't know how many horses or supplies they play. So they've drawn deck now. They played 1 port, which means they only have 1 port in hand. And the math here is really complicated because they have to count how many horses I have and horses they have and what their second most common action card will be after they remake stuff. I assume they're going to remake port here and something into something. They trashed silvers too, and I have 3 silvers still, so they only have 2 silvers. Okay, I'm going to lead on horses here because I really want to be discarding coppers with my stables. Okay. There's no tricky pile-out stuff, I don't think. I can enhance a non-victory card to gain a card costing up to 2 more than it. Oh, can I enhance non-victory card? Okay. So I cannot enhance a province. I can enhance a remake into a duchy. Do I want to do that, knowing that I have nothing left I'm willing to remake? I think that's better. I may have had a win there with enhancing on a stables, to be honest, and I need to look for that this turn. So play my horses first. If I find 3, I can enhance into a province. So I'm pretty sure, now that I think about it, I did have that. I didn't really think about it. I had a copper and the supplies. Here I drew a silver, so I'm not 100% sure I would have had it, but I should have just played both horses first. And again, there's only 1 duchy left in the pile, so they're going to have to gain points somehow with Triumphal Arch, which seems difficult, but complicated what they have to remake into what. They can remake silvers. But again, they only have 2 coppers, 3 supplies, 2 silvers. That's 9 money total. 9 money total. So they can't remake more than 2 cards, probably. I've got Jonts, who's running the tournament watching, and Mocha Moko, who is got the winner of this game in the whatever next round is called. Semis is called, since this is the quarters. They're also enhancing their remake into a duchy. Okay, we'll lead on the horse, play the port, play the horse, pause. Okay, enhance requires 2 more. I'm not quite sure what I was thinking there. So this is 5. How do I gain more points with 5? I can buy a stables, buy a scepter, buy 2 ports. I think I'm just going to buy 2 ports and look to buy 2 more ports next turn. And then doesn't quite make sense. I think I'm going to buy a stables. The idea being I can now draw a little bit better. I did not think it would turn into such a slog. Both of our decks kind of fell apart. They, because they went for the duchy stuff to catch up on VP, and me because when I saw they did that, I didn't hit province once. I I could never quite make the remake tricks work. I can also remake a horse into something if I need to. Okay, this feels good. I'm gonna get rid of a supplies, which was the smart thing to do, I think, because that kept me enough to get a stables. Okay, I think I liked the early supplies, but otherwise it was a close game. They did some good stuff, and it was a good hard fight.